My boyfriend keeps taking a stick of butter into the bathroom for over an hour, and when he finally emerges, the butter is mysteriously gone. I've been dating my boyfriend, who is 30 years old, for 2 years, and recently we moved in together. Ever since we made that big step, I've started noticing some very strange behavior. One issue has become particularly odd and hard for me to understand, and it's been eating away at me. At first, I didn't think much of it, but it soon became so apparent that I couldn't ignore it anymore. It all started with the butter. I noticed that the butter in our fridge was disappearing quickly. I figured maybe I was losing track of how much we had, or perhaps he was cooking while I wasn't around. It didn't seem like a big deal at first. However, a few weeks ago, things took a strange turn. I saw him sneakily grab a stick of butter from the fridge one evening, and instead of putting it back after using it, he walked into the bathroom with it. I didn't want to draw attention to it, so I pretended not to notice. He was in the bathroom for over an hour, and when he came out, I saw no sign of the butter. What confused me even more was that he didn't put it back in the fridge. It was just gone. That night I started to pay more attention. I noticed that over the course of the week, he had done the same thing 3 separate times. Each time a stick of butter disappeared, but he never explained why or where it went. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. One day, I asked him where all the butter was going, because I had barely used any that week, yet it was gone. He just shrugged and pretended not to know, saying maybe we had just forgotten to buy more. That didn't make sense because I knew we had at least 4 sticks just a few days ago. I pressed him, but he continued to act as though it was some sort of mystery. He suggested that we should order some more groceries. At this point, I was feeling more and more confused, so I decided to take matters into my own hands. I ordered groceries and made a point of mentioning how nice it was to have 4 sticks of butter again, thinking that maybe he would comment or give me an explanation, but he didn't. The first 2 days went by without any mention of it, and whenever I used a small amount of butter, I casually remarked on how much we still had left. I thought for sure that he would finally address the issue, but nothing changed. Then it happened again. He took a stick of butter into the bathroom. I listened carefully, and after about an hour, he emerged, but the butter was nowhere to be found. This time, I wasn't going to stay silent. I confronted him, saying that I had seen him take the butter into the bathroom, and I knew he had been lying about the amount of butter in the fridge. He became flustered and insisted that I must be mistaken, but I was firm. I told him I had literally seen him do it several times, and now I wanted answers. After some awkward silence, he apologized for misleading me and said we shouldn't talk about it anymore. But then he offered a suggestion. What if he just bought his own private butter and kept it separate from ours? At this point, I was both relieved and confused. He told me that I should promise not to ask about his butter activities again and just leave it alone. He kept saying that it wasn't a big deal and that I should just let it go. I wasn't sure how to react. I agreed reluctantly, but I still couldn't stop thinking about what was really going on with the butter. Why couldn't he tell me? What was he doing with it? I couldn't even make sense of it. And to make things even stranger, he wasn't gaining any weight, which made me think he couldn't possibly be eating the butter. That didn't make any sense to me. I just couldn't understand why he wouldn't be honest about it. A few days later, I asked him again about what he was doing with the butter. This time, I insisted that I needed to know. He grew quiet and seemed uncomfortable. After some hesitation, he finally told me everything. I was completely mortified and disgusted. What he told me was far beyond what I had imagined. It turns out that his butter usage was part of a deeply sensual activity, something inappropriate and graphic in nature. I can't even bring myself to describe it in full detail, as the mere thought of it is enough to make me feel unsettled. The whole thing was bizarre and made me feel completely repulsed. It's hard to explain just how much this has shaken me. I couldn't look at him the same way after learning about his strange butter-related activities. The situation only got worse when one of his friends found my online post about the butter mystery and sent it to him. Apparently, he had done similar things in college, and now his secret was out. He was furious with me for exposing him. Other people I know also found out, which led to a lot of humiliation and embarrassment for me. It felt like I had ruined my relationship and my privacy in one fell swoop. I couldn't believe that this was happening. The shame and humiliation have been overwhelming. I regret confronting him about it because now I can never unknow what I know. It's a mistake I can't take back. I feel like I've ruined everything. My relationship, my privacy, and my sense of trust in him. I can't believe I've been with someone who has these strange, secretive tendencies. I feel lost, unsure of what to do next. The whole thing has made me question who he really is. Am I overreacting? I honestly don't know, but I can't seem to get past it. It's been a few days now, and I still can't shake the feeling of disgust and confusion. I feel like I've been living in a nightmare. I don't think I can stay in this relationship anymore. How do you even go back to something normal after learning something so bizarre and unsettling about your partner. What do I do now?